Smell what the Rock is cooking. The Rock says, the Rock says, the Rock says, the Rock. They talk to me. You got your rules and your religion, all designed to keep you safe. But when rules start getting broken, you start questioning your faith. I have a voice that is my savior, hates to love and loves to hate. I have a voice that has the knowledge and the power to your fate. I hear voices crying, I see heroes dying, I taste blood that's drying, I feel tension rising. I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me, they talk to me.
Hello and welcome to the final post-show for 2022 under the NXT Wrestling Talk Show with Lisa Rock Jones and
Lisa Rock Jones and Sean. Bring you our reactions to NXT Deadline from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida.
NXT Deadline came out this past Saturday from the Performance Center and on the WWE Network and featured 5 live matches and 2 dark matches.
Yes, the two matches were quickly once over. Ivy Nile defeated Lash Legend, and Chase University of Duke Hudson and Andre Chase defeated Happy Bell and Zion.
NXT Deadline was noted for featuring a brand new match concept in the Iron Survivor Challenge, one for the men and one for the women. The women's one was the one that started the night, and we will quickly go over the slightly complicated rules.
Slightly complicated is definitely the word, I would use.
So, 5 wrestlers compete in the match, which has a 25-minute time limit.
It does indeed.
2 wrestlers start the match, and the timer starts to count down. Every 5 minutes, another wrestler enters until the 5th and final superstar enters with the 15 minutes left remaining. Each time a wrestler scores a pinfall, submission, or disqualification, they get the point. And the person who was on the receiving end of the pinfall contest, pinfall, submission, or disqualification is placed into the penalty box for 90 seconds. The winner of the match is the person who has the most points available at the end of a 25-minute time limit, and the winner ultimately becomes the number 1 contender for the respective NXT championship of course, the NXT Championship for the men and the Women's Championship for the women.
And we start off with our first Iron Survivor Challenge match for the women's to determine a number one contender to the NXT Women's title. As Roxanne Perez took on Zoe Stark, her former tag team partner Cora Jade, Kiana James, and Indy Hartwell.
So Roxanne Perez and Zoe Stark were the first two to start the match.
Yes.
Then Kiana James came in as the third entrant. Then before the fourth entrant came in, Zoe Stark hit the K360 onto Perez to score the first point of the match. Cora Jade was the fourth entrant into the match. Then during the interval here, the fifth period, Perez attempted for Park Rocks onto James, but Cora Jade tossed Perez out of the ring and hit the super kick onto James to pick up a fall there. Then Indy Hartwell entered the match.
Yes.
Perez would of course hit a boot on to score a fall there.
Yes.
Perez pinned Zoe Stark with a roll up.
Yes.
And then managed to hit Cora Jade with a pop lock to take the lead in the match.
Yes.
Of course, Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez would go at each other in this match. But at the end of the match, Roxanne Perez had 2 falls. Zoe Stark had 1 fall. Cora Jade had 1 fall.
Kiana James had none.
And
Indy Hartwell
had 1 fall, making the Iron Survivor Roxanne Perez and the number 1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship. Not that she would remain that for very long, but we'll get into that in a moment.
Yes. Our next match spills us all the way back to a former brand known as NXT UK, as Isla Dawn took on Kaylee Ray, otherwise now known as Alpha Fire.
Yes, and Kaylee Ray, aka Alpha Fire, would go for a Swanton Bomb, Jeff Hardy style. But the referee was distracted here. Well, I say distracted. Coughed up black goo.
Yeah, some weird, voodoo sort of stuff was happening to the referee.
Isla Dawn took advantage by shoving Faye into an exposed turnbuckle.
Ouch.
And performed the Eye of Hurricane 2 in the match.
And win her first match since moving from NXT UK to NXT.
Now, on the episode of NXT that came before Deadline, Pretty Deadly made a bold statement that they had beaten every team in WWE and no team could beat them. Well, here came the New Day.
Yes, accepting the challenge from Pretty Deadly.
And looking to become tag team Triple Crown winners, and for Kofi Kingston looking to become a 15-time tag team champion, winning the more tag team titles than anyone in WWE history. This was a very good tag team match. But as Pretty Deadly were getting frustrated towards the end, they tried to take the shortcut, and everyone decided to play a bit of pass the title to each other.
And even during the match as well.
Yeah.
Because Pretty Deadly took a page out of lying, cheat, steal.
Well, all four of them did. They tried to do probably already Guerrero style. Of course, the referee was not fooled. Then but during this period where the referee managed to get one tag team title out of the ring, Xavier Woods was blasted with the other. It wasn't seen by the referee, except he managed to kick out. Then, as we got to the end of it, Kit Wilson was nailed on the outside of the ring with Trouble in Paradise.
Kofi Kingston.
And then that allowed the New Day to hit Elton Prince with Midnight Hour. In to win the match and making them the third team in WWE history to become Triple Crown Tag Team titles. Only behind the Revival, also known as and the Street Profits.
So our next match takes us into our next Iron Survivor challenge to determine the number one contender to the NXT Championship.
Yes, this match featured Grayson Waller, Carmelo Hayes, Jordan Devlin, aka
JD McDonough,
Joe Gracie, and
Axiom, otherwise known as A-Kid.
okay, so this is how this one took place. Carmelo Hayes would win the first fall after hitting the swinging vertical suplex onto McDowell and Axiom, and then pinning Axiom. Grayson Waller then took the second fall after a stunner. Who the hell do you think you are, Stone Cold? Grayson Waller would then go 2-1 up by hitting a second stunner onto TJ McDowell. Axiom would get one fall of a roll up on Grayson Waller. Axiom would get a second fall by over TJ McDowell, who was unlucky in this match after a golden throw. Joe Gracie would then get the fall with a submission on Axiom, the lens of Satan, I should say. Joe Gracie would get a second fall by pinning Carmelo Hayes with the upside down world. Carmelo Hayes would get a second fall by forcing Grayson Waller to tap out to the crossface.
Ugh.
It's not a move, it's just the person who made it famous is that.
That's what I was referring to, but okay, carry on.
And then Grayson Waller got a third fall by hitting Carmelo Hayes. Grayson Waller got a third fall after Hayes hit Axiom with a diving leg drop, and Carmelo and Grayson Waller managed to be in the right place at the right time. So, at the end of a 25-minute time limit, Grayson Waller got 3 falls.
Hayes got
JD McDowell, aka Jordan Devlin, got 0.
Joe Gacy got 2.
And Axiom got 2, making the men's Iron Survivor Grayson Waller, and he will eventually become the number 1 contender for the NXT Championship. Speaking of the NXT Championship,
This was our main event as Ron Brady put his title on the line against Apollo Crews.
yes, and this was a bit of a weird one because Apollo Crews being sent back to NXT, I can understand. But I don't think anyone has really seen Apollo Crews as championship material or as the main championship. There's a reason along the main roster he's only ever been United States and Intercontinental Champion. Although it was an evenly matched contest, when Cruz managed to hit Baker with a military pledge power slam, his signature move, of course. Well, then, of course, Braun Baker would channel his inner Edge, Goldberg, and Roman Reigns
All at the same time.
with a spear onto Apollo Crews to retain the championship. However, after the match, Grayson Waller decided to make an appearance.
By stunning the NXT champion Ron Brady out of his boot.
Again, who does he think he is? Stone Cold?
Australian Stone Cold? Maybe.
So we will go through these matches one more time. Without mentioning the dark matches, because in the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge match, Roxanne Perez defeated Zoe Stark, Cora Jade, Kiana James, and Indy Hartwell.
Isla Dawn defeated Alba Fire in a one-on-one match.
The New Day defeated Pretty Deadly to win the NXT Tag Team Championships.
Grayson Waller defeated Carmelo Hayes, Jenny McDonough, Joe Gacy, and Axiom in a men's item over challenge to become number one contender for the NXT Championship.
And Braun Baker defeated Apollo Crews to retain the NXT Championship. However, the NXT news does not stop there.
It doesn't.
Now, the matches with these respected Iron Survivor winners for the NXT Women's Championship and NXT Championship was supposed to take place on NXT New Year's Evil, aka the January 10th episode of NXT. However, in a last-minute decision, which we will get to momentarily, the NXT Women's Championship match was moved to this past week's episode of NXT, in which Roxanne Perez defeated Mandy Rose to become the NXT Women's Champion.
Ending Mandy Rose's reign at 413 days, 3 days short of overtaking Shayna Baszler.
But then, people were thinking, well, that's strange, why did they move the match forward? Well, we kind of got the answer to that the following day, when Mandy Rose was released, aka fired, from WWE.
Yes, she was taken yesterday due to violating the terms of a contract by posting explicit content on her fan time page.
Now, you may be wondering what fan time is. To the best of my knowledge, it's what I would call a subscription website along the same lines as OnlyFans.
Pretty much.
You know,
And there was rumors earlier in the day of Mandy Rose and Rusty Toxic across the world now. I mean, that's not going to happen.
the Toxic Attraction still can be, it's just Mandy Rose won't be joining them. So yes, apparently the situation was Mandy Rose was uploading and selling explicit material, not using her WWE name, but under the name Mandy Sachs. And once WWE management, because apparently Mandy Rose knew that there was a chance that WWE management may not take too kindly to this sort of material being posted. So once WWE management got wind of it, apparently because of Matt Bloom, aka Albert, aka A-Train, aka Tensai, Shawn Michaels, who is head of NXT, made the decision to pull that match forward and take the title off of Mandy Rose. Now, apparently the plan was always for Roxanne Perez to win the NXT Women's Championship. They just did it sooner than what they were going to. Do I believe that this is the last that Mandy Rose will be in WWE? I could possibly see her coming back. maybe later. But also, I can also understand that from a business move, if what Mandy Rose has been doing is going to affect WWE's business relationships with sponsors and advertisers, then I can understand why they would want to sever ties, especially if Mandy Rose was refusing or had no interest in stopping what she was doing.
So that about does it for our NXT Deadline, our last NXT Wrestling Talk Show of 2020.
And probably our last episode of 2022 period. Uh, Sometime probably between now and the Royal Rumble, we may come up with a special show looking at the highlights of 2022. But if we don't, the next time you hear from us will be when the road to WrestleMania will begin. Okay.
So until then,
We select Jones and he's been
I'm Rim, and thank you for listening to us.